Alright, well, I will eat my words. I was a big proponent of North Carolina football, and I was honestly a skeptic of Virginia Tech football going into the 2021 season. I thought Sam Howell was the best quarterback, I thought North Carolina was going to win 11 games, and I thought they were a dark horse playoff contender. Turns out, as of right now, I may be wrong. I said that Virginia Tech had quarterback problems as I was not a believer in Braxton Burmeister. I said this would be Justin Fuente's last year on the job. And overall, I said Virginia Tech was going on a downfall. I was wrong. I've always enjoyed Virginia Tech football. I've had nothing against the program, and I want nothing but to see them succeed, but I was honestly just a skeptic this year. They have changed it all though, as Braxton Burmeister is going to be a really fun player for the future. Justin Fuente just bought himself some more time, and that packed Lane Stadium reminded me just how good this program could potentially be if they put it all together. In today's video, I want to talk about this game last night, how Virginia Tech shocked the world, what this means for them moving forwards, and why they could be a sleeper team in the ACC. But right before we get into it, nearly 80% of you guys are not subscribed for the upcoming college football season, and I'm going to be putting out endless content every single day, so you're not going to want to miss out on any of that. Be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, and check out my 2021 college football playlist link in both the description and as the pinned comment. And now, let's talk about Virginia Tech football. So as I always do on this channel, I like to give you guys background info and go back in time to sort of build up the event and the story in the video. So yeah, we're going to go back a little bit. Obviously, Virginia Tech football used to be a premier top 10 to top 25 team consistently under Frank Beamer, but after he retired just a couple years ago, they would have to head in a new direction. So, who did they go for? Well, they hired a guy by the name of Justin Fuente. If you did not know, he actually started his career at Oklahoma before he would transfer to Murray State. He didn't end up doing anything in the professional world, so he pretty much went into coaching. He got his start at Illinois State, but he really made a name for himself at TCU. He was the offensive coordinator in 2009, and he helped coach up Andy Dalton for those Horned Frog teams, and even helped them win the 2011 Rose Bowl. Because of that, the University of Memphis decided to hire Fuente as their next head coach. The Tigers were a pretty bad team at that point in time, and they were not the program they are today. Fuente is the guy who figured that out, as eventually, with Paxton Lynch as the quarterback, he led them to their first 10-win year since 1938 and had the Tigers ranked in the top 25 to end the year. He was a finalist for the Coach of the Year and had rebuilt this Tigers program into one of the better teams in the AAC, and I remember those teams were a lot of fun to watch. Because of that, he was one of the hottest coaching names in the country, and when Frank Beamer decided to retire after the 2015 season, the Hokies looked his way to be the next guy. He ended up getting hired, and in his first year, Fuente set the tone for how his tenure was going to go. The team went 10-4, and they finished ranked number 16 in the country. Not only that, but he was named the 2016 ACC Coach of the Year, and the sky was looking the limit for Fuente. Unfortunately, from there, it's only gone downhill since. They did go 9-4 in 2017, and did finish the year ranked number 24. Sadly, in 2018, they would go 6-7 though, and then in 2019, they would go 8-5, and then in 2020, they would go 5-6. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a genius to figure out that the team's trajectory has been going down, and some say that maybe Fuente was only good in 2016 because he had Beamer's players. All of these are fair arguments, but one thing that everyone could decide on was that Virginia Tech needed to figure out the quarterback position, and that he was on the hot seat going into 2021. The quarterback spot has been a problem for the Hokies since Michael Brewer left. Josh Jackson showed a lot of flash back in the day, and he led them to a great 2016 season, but he struggled with injuries and ended up having to transfer to Maryland, and he's a big what if for them. From there, guys like Quincy Patterson, Ryan Willis, and Hendon Hooker have all seen the field, and Hooker did have a few moments, but no one really established themselves as that premier starting quarterback. Braxton Burmeister is looking to change that though. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and originally took his talents to Oregon. He started a couple games there, but ended up transferring due to Justin Herbert. He settled on Fuente's program in Blacksburg, and he was still pretty unknown going into 2021. He was a super athletic guy and the presumed starter, but no one really expected him to have that great of a year. Personally, I was not ultra high on him, and I wasn't saying he was going to be a bad player, but compared to all the other good quarterbacks and some of the other players I've seen, I just didn't think that he was going to be that good. I will admit I was wrong though, as he had a pretty good first game, but we can't talk about that quite yet. Many people expected anywhere from 6 to 8 wins, and Fuente was going to have to prove himself if he wanted to be employed next year. There was not going to be a popcorn state or an easy team to start out the schedule, as the number 10 North Carolina Tar Heels would come to town. This was a trap game for North Carolina, and many believe they were the most overrated team in college football going into this year. Blacksburg was absolutely rocking, as the stadium was full capacity, Sandman was spectacular, and it really reminded me just how good this program can be. On the Hokies' first drive, we got to see a glimpse of what this crowd can do, as Braxton Burmeister would take a QB option play 4 yards to the house, and the crowd absolutely roared, and from that moment, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle for North Carolina. The offense did stalemate for a little while, but with just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, Burmeister would find wide receiver James Mitchell for an 11-yard touchdown, and they would take a 14-0 lead. The Virginia Tech defense absolutely stuffed North Carolina in that first half, and for the most part, they did it the entire game. They did allow Josh Downs to have a 37-yard touchdown in the third quarter, and they did give up a field goal late, but for the most part, this Virginia Tech defense deserves a helmet sticker and a lot of praise from the media for how well they played this game. Yes, North Carolina was missing their top 4 players, but with the expectations of this team, and with Mack Brown at the helm, Virginia Tech did a spectacular job. They ended up making that interception late in the game as well, and Sam Howell could never get comfortable, and their pass rush was excellent. When we take a look at the box score, Burmeister had a pretty solid game. He went 12 of 19 for 169 yards and a touchdown, and while those stats aren't going to pop off the page, he did everything he was expected to do in his first start, and more importantly, I see a lot of potential for him in the future. He made some good throws, he was able to score a touchdown with his feet, and he's going to be someone who's very difficult to game plan and cover. The play calling was pretty solid for Virginia Tech, and they could have been up 21-0 had Keyshawn King not fumbled that ball. I was not ultra impressed in the second half by Virginia Tech, but once again they did enough, and they dominated the trenches in this game. Overall, Burmeister did enough to win. He showed he can make big plays, he showed he can be a dual threat quarterback, the defense showed that they can get pressure, that they can make big plays when they need to, and James Mitchell showed he could potentially be the go-to target for him. But most importantly, Lane Stadium showed up, the fans were loud, and they once again showed why they're one of the toughest places to play in college football, and that is going to help Virginia Tech tremendously this year and in the years following. With all the nonsense that went on during the 2020 season and all those empty stadiums, we forgot how much of an impact home stadiums have and crowds have, and it was a thing of beauty that gave me chills last night. While Virginia Tech football is not perfect, as Burmeister needs to be more consistent, they need to find a go-to running back, and they need a go-to wide receiver. They showed that in game 1, their fans are going to come out, they're going to play tough, and they're going to be competitive every single game, which is something I really love. In terms of the future for them, I want to take a quick look at their schedule. They have a really difficult game in 2 weeks on the road against West Virginia, and in my eyes, that really is a 50-50 game. I'm high on the Mountaineers going into this year as they have an experienced quarterback, and in my opinion, a lot of good playmakers. So while I may get some flack for it, I think West Virginia is going to win in a close one. I also think they're going to lose to Notre Dame. I think they're going to lose on the road to Boston College, and I think they're going to lose on the road to Miami. So that would have them going 8-4, but I actually think they're going to win one of those games. Not sure which one, but I think they're going to win one, and my overall projection for the team is now 9-3. In terms of winning the ACC, I don't know about that, but having that tiebreaker over North Carolina is going to help them a lot. Honestly, there's a lot to work on for Virginia Tech, but Justin Fuente bought himself some more time. They showed they had a lot of hidden potential, and Virginia Tech shocked the college football world last night. What do you guys think, though? If you're a Virginia Tech fan, let me know what you think of last night's game, what you're worried about and what you're excited about, and your projection for the team moving forwards. If you're a North Carolina fan, let me know the same thing. And before you go, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you are new here, and check out all my other videos on the end screen, including my 2021 season playlist and my video about what happened to Josh Jackson. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.